Hey guys, Cameron here with Emerson Property Management. Every week I bring you tools, tactics, strategies, lessons I've learned, things that have helped me build up a sizable rental portfolio in about 2 years and now manage that portfolio. Today, guys, I want to talk about a property reserve. So anytime if you're an owner and you're doing your own property management, and if you ever interview property management companies, one of the things that we always talk about, or one of the things that comes up, is a property reserve. So if you haven't heard of that, you're probably scratching your head going, what does that mean exactly? What is a reserve? So that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm just going to go through a property reserve, what it is, what we use, what that amount is for us, maybe talk about a bit about what the industry does. And then you'll know if you're ever interviewing or if you decide to do your own property management or what have you, you'll know kind of this terminology. So before I get into that, if you guys find these videos valuable, please like, subscribe, share. If you think somebody else would find it valuable, share it with somebody. It really helps us out and we appreciate it. Okay, so what is a property reserve? So when you're doing property management, you hold a reserve, and this is almost like a deposit to use for repairs and expenses, not on a tenant, but for owner expenses. So if you're an owner coming to Emerson for property management, we would tell you we hold $400 is our property reserve at the time of this recording in July 2023. So what does that mean? That means that anything under $400, we will make the judgment call on whether we should proceed or not. If it is above $400, our reserve and this threshold, the owner threshold where we'll reach out, is exactly the same. So if it's below $400, we will not contact you. We will use our best judgment to determine if we should proceed. We will not contact you. You won't have any involvement in that. Above 400, we will contact you. We'll say, hey, here's kind of what's going on. We've got a dishwasher that's broken. Sometimes in some of those scenarios, we will inform you what's going on and say, hey, listen, we had a hot water tank go out. It's going to be $1,500. Just to make you aware, we've already started that process because in Texas Property Code, we have a certain time frame that we have to meet for emergency scenarios. So we will reach out to you, let you know what's going on, anything above $400. Other companies, I've heard everything from $200 to $800. Where does that property reserve come from? The average maintenance request is somewhere between $100 and $200. So if we have something come up, we don't have funds just sitting around. We have to have a reserve to use. Otherwise, we would be asking you to send us $100, $150 before we go out and do a maintenance request. And obviously at the beginning of the month, when we get all the rents, we could take it out of that, but that would mean that we would have a significant deficit from the beginning of the month to the end of the month until rents started coming in, especially if tenants don't pay. This is a vacancy. We always collect the $400 property reserve. Now, it is not a fee. I don't know what other companies do, but it is not a fee. So it is your money. It is sitting there. It will replenish if and when you decide to sell or the property or terminate management. Then we would give you that back. We would basically lower the reserve to zero and provide you those funds back. So property reserve is just to help balance funds so property management companies can go do work on your behalf without dipping into our own funds and basically between the first of the month and 30th of the month running a negative, going in the red. So you can imagine, getting 5 to 10 maintenance requests a week. If we had to do that, we would have to wait until the end of the month. We don't have any funds. So that's a property reserve. And like I said, our threshold for communicating with you as well is that same $400. Some folks do different, but usually your property reserve and the threshold to communicate with the owner is the same. If you're the type of owner, and I was at one time, that you want to know every single thing that happens and be contacted every single time, I can tell you that we would not be a good fit for you because you're using us as experts. You're leveraging our expertise, all of our, collectively as a team, we have just over 60 years experience in property management as a team. You're leveraging all those years of experience, all those learnings. So you will be notified there's emails and things that go out of everything that goes on. Obviously, all the documentation, receipts, invoices is all on your owner portal. It's just we're not going to reach out to you and say, hey, should we allow the tenant to paint their bedroom? We're going to use our professional judgment on that. We're not even going to have that discussion with you. We will again use our learnings to help eliminate some of those conversations. That's why you hire property management. But there are some owners out there that want to know every single thing. If it's $85 and you're going out there, I want to know about it. I can tell you, one, if you're that type of owner, you're going to need to make sure that you start valuing your time at some point. I know it's aggravating to say sometimes, when I was early on started, I'm like, what does that mean exactly? Because I was doing everything. If you're doing that and you're doing your own property management, then it's fine. But if you're looking to hire somebody out, you're leveraging that person's time, experience, and you're getting your own time back. If you're paying somebody $100, $200 a month for property management, and you're still involved in the day-to-day, and you still want to have communication and decisions on every little thing, it clogs up our systems, and you didn't really buy any of your time back. So think about that. We have that happen. We've turned down owners, several owners that want to be involved in every single thing that really don't like that $400 threshold. Some people look at it as, this is a blank check. Emerson's going to use this $400 as a blank check and do with it as they please. That is not true. We have denied so many requests. I mean, we're only a week and a half into the beginning of the month, or a week or so in the beginning of the month. And we've already turned down half a dozen requests, for things that are the tenant's expense. A screen was broken, certain garbage disposal issues, things that come up. If we deem a tenant responsibility, we're not just going out there and sending a vendor and using your $400. We're treating your properties just like I treat mine. Same exact process and system. So that gives you a whole, if you guys didn't know about the property reserve, that should give you a whole picture of what the property reserve is and the threshold for communication. So when you're looking at property management companies or determining, what is the threshold, so you don't get surprised by that. We've had a lot of people surprised. Now you know. $400 is ours at the time of this recording. Will probably go up over time. It will go up with inflation. We need to be able to do basic expenses and rekeys and whatnot. So I hope that was helpful. If it was, let me know. If it wasn't, let me know. And I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you next week.